I've spoken to many young guys, hundreds of guys have actually told me this exact same problem. They keep flipping around from business model to business model. Maybe you've wanted to try becoming a YouTuber. Maybe you've wanted to try the agency marketing or the copywriting or the paid ads and all these different kind of ways to make money. You've considered a couple of careers, but there's too many people saying bad things about careers these days, so you wouldn't do that. And you've got no idea. You're making shallow progress. You're not sure what it is that you should do with your life. You just know one thing for certain: you want to make money. That's the problem. That's why you're stuck. If you can go into step one, like we said before, and destroy that need for money, and now let's start from a baseline and let's figure out actually the right thing for you to do. This is the thing you could actually commit yourself to for decades. Imagine how good that would be. By the end of just this step here, you will have the thing that you could genuinely do for decades. That means that you'll be able to master this craft, this skill that we're about to find out for you, which means over the long run, you're going to make a lot more money than the guy who's flipping around from business model to business model. Your life quality just comes down to like what you do with the hours of your day. And working is going to be a big part of that. The truth is that making money is nice. But if you make money while sacrificing the hours of your day to do something that wasn't like nice for you, then the benefit of the money actually goes away. Some men would say, yep, I just want to make the money. I just want to make the money. Those men, even though it sounds horrible, and this is speaking to younger me because he was one of those, it sounds horrible. They've got severe problems. It takes years to counteract that. And I know that I sound like I'm just being horrible. It's actually like the person who would sacrifice his own health and experience of life to just be able to afford something that will heighten him in society and to gain some status. It's actually worrying. Now, of course, if making a certain amount of money would genuinely save your life because you're in a war-torn country, that's different. Because think about how gut-wrenching it is for this fisherman, where he had those hours of the day where he was doing something which was still productive. It was still getting him the resources he needed, but it was something he genuinely enjoyed. And because of that, he was able to get really good at it as well. So at this point, what you need to do is to figure out what your flow state task is. This is, in my belief, the single greatest way to go about your money-making journey is to narrow in on what's called your flow state task. This is a task that you do that you naturally get zero thoughts during. It's a task that you do which could be like work for someone, but it feels fun and enjoyable, almost like a game for you. You'll know it's your flow state task because you usually will have zero thoughts whilst you do it. For me, it's always been speaking. When I speak and I give advice and I explain concepts, I always have zero thoughts in my brain. It's still hard. It's still like this demanding, difficult, strenuous task. But at the same time, I feel like I'm in some kind of weird haze right now. I've had zero thoughts in my mind for the last 1.5 hours. And that's the peak human experience where your monkey mind quietens down and you can actually just be here present. I won't go into more detail for this flow state guide. I made a whole 2-hour guide on my channel, the flow state focus guide. Just go watch that when you have the time. And until then, just think about whatever your flow state task could be. The kind of task that feels pleasant for you, but it actually still is pretty productive. It's speaking for me. Maybe it's writing for you. Maybe it's coaching for another person. Maybe it's teaching. Maybe it's lifting weights and exercising. Maybe it's reading, whatever it is. There's got to be something which really just aligns to you. That's the thing that you're going to use for money. That is your gift to humanity. That is something that you were born with, which is different from everyone else. I believe that was what you were supposed to get really good at as a gift to other people. And when we use entrepreneurship in a capitalist society, when we give that gift to other people, they'll give us money in return. Do you see how my gift that I was born with, because I was 4 years old when I knew that I liked explaining concepts to people, this gift of speaking, I'm using to help you. And this has made me a lot of money. Imagine if I didn't do this and I just tried to chase the money and I went and worked at the warehouse. I would have made more money back then, right? I would have made more money back then. But when you find this flow state task, when you find this task that just feels right for you, that feels enjoyable for you, even though it might not be the thing that's going to make a lot of money, naturally you get really good at it because you just want to do it all the time. So even when I'm not working, I'm speaking to people. I'll be in the gym and I'll end up like meeting a new person, and I can't help but to like speak motivational concepts and everything at them. I can't help it because it's just enjoyable for me to like say things out of my mouth and explain things in the way that I understand them myself. That means that you're going to get really good at it. It means that you're going to practice 24/7 just naturally. It means that you're going to put in more hours than everyone else and actually enjoy it. And this is the best part if you're a new entrepreneur, if you're trying to figure out like, which business to make. When you know your flow state task, you don't jump around from business to business because you just know the thing that you can go all in on. For me, it's speaking. So there might be, YouTube, there might be Twitch or some other ways, being a motivational speaker in person. There's different things I could do, but as long as the skill, the task is consistent as it is for me, which is speaking, it narrows down like the things that I'll consider. Right now, you might be thinking, wait, I don't really know my flow state task. I don't even understand what it means. So I'll just ask you, what is something that is kind of like work, but you do it and it's actually kind of fun, and you often have zero thoughts in your mind whilst you do it? If you're not sure of the answer, it would be valuable for you to just keep this question in mind and maybe go through your life, because there probably is something that you're doing right now, or maybe something that you'll eventually find where this will become more apparent. This advice is going to sound lame, but if you just go and like try new things, sometimes you'll be able to go and find like the thing that puts you into more of a flow state. There's zero thoughts in your mind. It feels super enjoyable. You integrate with the task. You almost lose your sense of self. And why is this so hard to find? Why has no one ever taught you this before? Well, because it's not as cool. You see, when you're trying to figure out what your flow state task is, it might not be the thing that's going to make like potentially the most amount of money right now. It might not be the most trending thing. And so why isn't this spoken about more? If this is such great advice, why is no one else speaking about this? I think it's because this isn't a way to guarantee that you'll make the most amount of money, but it is the way to guarantee that you will have the most amount of fulfillment and purpose in your life. So you need to choose right now. If there's one that you would you sacrifice your purpose as a man, or would you sacrifice more money? Let's say you're not going to be totally broke. Which one would you sacrifice? The reason why you exist, or material success? Most people would literally sacrifice their purpose. You liked this video, so go and watch the full guide, because it took me weeks to make and it will genuinely change your life. It's popped up as a card. Go click on that right now. It's also a link in the description. Go click on that right now.